Service. That's the thing that comes to my mind as I look at this week, what this week means, what it means for our company and so many others out there in the world who celebrate the Christmas. They're having Christmas parties this week. They're spending time with their families, and you're spending time with your families, and we're taking a step back just to rest and to think and to enjoy some sweet moments together with our families. And more than anything, I hope more than anything that each and every one of you this week is taking time and being present with your families, and that you are acknowledging the birth of Jesus Christ, the one who came to serve us. And why service rings so loud in my heart and mind this week as we're going forwards. I mean, service it's everything to us. We are our service-oriented company. We provide services. We provide very few goods into the marketplace. Our work is all about service. And so as we look at this week and who was born this week, Jesus, at least when we celebrate it, when he was born doesn't really matter. What matters is that we actually celebrate that he was born at one of the days of the year. And so, guys, this is the day, this is the week when we celebrate that. And because Jesus sent his son, God sent his son, Jesus, to serve. He came into the world setting the ultimate example of what it means to lead, what it means to influence, what it means to truly make a difference, being completely selfless, not selfish, but selfless. I heard one person define love as the absence of self, the absence of self-focus and self consideration. When you think of a soldier on a battlefield and somebody's in danger and he's wounded and there's a crossfire going on, well, the soldier will risk his life to go drag and pull that guy back to safety. And that's willing to do the ultimate sacrifice of service. And that's just what Jesus did. He entered into the crossfire, what we call life, and he drug us to safety. He provided the opportunity to drag us out of the crossfire into safety. And all we have to do is accept that and accept his son Jesus as our safety, as our savior. That's what the word savior means. He gave us the opportunity. He sent his son Jesus as a savior. And it's like, guys, you've got the option. We all have the option. You can choose it or you cannot choose it, but the option is there for you to have a savior. And so that's what this week is why it's so powerfully meaningful to so many in the world, and especially to us, because our company is a service company, and Jesus came to serve. The creator of the universe stepped into humanity and said, I will serve my creation. I don't know how many of you, and I personally find it hard to humble myself to the level of serving my creation. I mean, we have our children and we're training them and teaching them. And in God's ways, he served his creation, his children, he served them. Well, how do you serve them? Well, you do serve them by training them. You do serve them by disciplining. You do serve them by helping them to understand what is good and right. But God served us by giving his son as the ultimate sacrifice. And so as we celebrate this week and as we do the necessary formalities of this week and take care of business, those business things that we've got to cover this week, it's about service and serving the one who came to serve us. He wasn't, even though he was the king of all creation, and I think that was the pivotal message of all of the Christmas messages. When Jesus was born, he was born in a town called Bethlehem. God, who created all, decided to be born, going through that very hard struggle of actually being born. There's a lot of studies that are out there that say children who actually went through the birthing process, which is very stressful, very hard and painful, on their bodies have a much higher tolerance to hardships later in life because they had to go through such pain to be born, such agonies in some senses to be born. And the mother obviously went through incredible agony, just like Maggie has 8 times by now. And Jesus went through that, saying, guys, I'm stepping into your humanity. I'm going to become a part of it. I'm not a distant to your suffering. I don't keep myself away from it like I don't care. I'm in the struggle with you. I understand that it's hard and it's spirit crushing, the tragedies and the atrocities of life and the evil of this world. I understand that. But if there was no evil, there would be no love, and the depth of love would not be possible. That's what Jesus said. That's what Jesus knew. That's the whole Christmas idea. There would be no possible love, deep, true love, if there wasn't the possibility for evil and pain. And that's what gives it so much meaning. We would just be Autobots. We would just be programmed things that did only what they were programmed to do, but instead we have choice. You and I have choice. Choice would not be possible if evil and love and good was not possible. And so God of all creation came into the world and served. He was 3 miles from where Jesus was born in Bethlehem, 3 miles away. There was a palace that was 45 acres. That's like 20 hectares of palace. And King Herod lived there. And he had huge gardens surrounding his palace and a massive swimming area in the center and domes and beautiful hallways and columns and all kind of servants serving every possible want that he had. And that's such a stark picture because 3 miles away, the God of all creation, born in a stable where they feed animals. And that's the contrast of the King of all the earth, of Jesus, the Messiah, the Savior, the one who said, guys, I'm entering into this with you. I'm a part of the evil of mankind. I will even suffer death. That's what Easter's about, right? This week, we're celebrating the birth. But Easter is about the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. But he said, I'm going to enter into it, and I'm going to begin a life of service. First of all, I'm going to submit myself to the authority of my parents. Like in the Bible, it says Jesus submitted himself to the training, the authority, and the teaching of his parents. He knew more than them, but he still submitted to them, modeling service. And then he said there was a story in the Bible where Jesus, they went to a feast, and then Jesus stayed back, and his parents traveled for 3 days. They didn't realize he wasn't there. And then all of a sudden it was that his mother was searching for him after 3 days of traveling, and they're like, where's Jesus? And they couldn't find him. So they traveled all the way back to Jerusalem, and they found him in the temple talking with, dealing with hard questions with the Pharisees and scribes and the Jews in the temple. He knew way more, but it says at that time, he said to Jesus, Jesus' mother said, what are you doing? We were worried sick about you. And he was like, but I must be about my Father's business. He knew, but it says he went and he submitted himself to his parents and their teaching. And he didn't have to do that. He was God of all creation, but he wanted to model for us, being a leader, modeling for us how we should be serving others and how we should be submissive in our roles and our responsibilities in the places that we are put in life. And there's a saying that says, bloom where you have been planted, that I really like. Where you've been planted, bloom. Don't make excuses as to why you can't succeed. Bloom there where you are. And so guys, We serve because Jesus served. The reason for the season is Jesus' service to all of us, and the option for a Savior when there was no hope. All right, so I'm going to get off my soapbox of preaching. I can go on and on and on. I've taught a lot of Bible lessons, and I love teaching different things out of the Bible, so I'll try not to teach so much more in this video, but that is truly our example. Jesus coming to earth and investing himself into all of life. Because if you're not living to serve and to be a blessing to others and to influence the world in an incredibly positive and useful way, then what value is your life? And what value is my life? It's about others. It's not about consuming everything we possibly can, because you only live once. We only live one time, so we got to consume everything we can. No, it's not. It's about being a part of this incredible creation and making your neighbor's life a little bit easier. That's what being wealthy, spiritually, mentally, and financially is, and living out the book 24/7, loving others as we would want to be loved ourselves. That's what it means. It means being a positive increase in value for other people's lives around you. Just think about that. Am I truly, positively being an increase in value for the lives of the people who are in relationship with me? Is that true? Or is that not true? Is that something that I can work on? And because when we do that, we actually embody that, what the Creator envisioned in the first place. Jesus, right? He came to earth and started a life of service. And when we start our lives of service, and you start at any time, you would do that. That's one of the reasons that we have so many kids, guys. I mean, that's one of our massive life service events, life service programs, I guess, so that we have those in our life to serve and train to serve others. Who can I serve? I can serve my neighbors, right? And my team and our clients. But who else can I serve? I can serve my children and train them to serve so that they can exponentially increase that level of service and love in the world. So guys, as we consider Christmas, as we go forwards and work on all of the projects that we've got to work on and growing and developing our company, it's all centered around service. The whole ethos of our company, it's service. Service to God, service to others, because we were created to serve. And when people aren't serving, when we don't serve, a little piece of us starts to die inside, because that's what we were created for. So guys, I hope that this week is very meaningful to you. I hope that you have a real and stark understanding, maybe encounter with God. I hope that as you spend time with your families, there's just something special about this Christmas, and that you can feel even the acknowledgement of God in your life, and the blessings that even if you haven't really been the best at acknowledging him this past year or in your life, that you can feel that he's been a help to you and a blessing to you. And so guys, as we go forward this week, we're going to continue and go forward and prosper. I sent out the sales number for our whole history last week because I wanted to encourage you guys that we've had some ups and downs, and all along the way, we eventually have learned and gone to the next step of growth. And I also wanted to tell you that in our history of the past 10 years, we have never fired somebody or let somebody go because we couldn't figure out how to make enough money to pay everybody on our team. And that's something that I'm proud of. At the same time, I'm aware that it's not something that just comes by accident. That's an intentional thing. We've never had to let people go because we weren't able to make the sales to cover the salaries to this point. And we're not planning to start this year or anytime soon. We're going to continue to grow and prosper. And so I sent that message out to you guys just to kind of give you a little bit more history, understanding of our history and our track record over the years, and to see that we've had up years and we'd had a bad down year. And that was the year we were building our house and COVID was starting up. And then we got right back on track, moving upwards. And the fact that, like, in some years we actually have doubled, and it's pretty freaking amazing. And so that's why I know that it's possible even this next year in 2025 to double and go beyond that. So guys, as we go forward this week, may your homes be full of joy. May there be a sweetness in this week that maybe just doesn't, that you don't have in other weeks. May your parties be vibrant and full of laughter and deep, happy conversations. And may it fill your heart with joy for the service you're able to provide to the people that are around you. May God richly bless each and every one of you, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas.